Warning! The following podcast includes spicy content. This level of heat may not be intended for all audiences. No, but seriously, it's hot. Like, spicy. I mean, we might chew food for like 10 seconds, but we don't really swear. And it's not actually dirty. We just talk about hot chicken. So if you like it XXX hot, welcome to the Hot Chicks Podcast. Hello, friends and folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Hot Chicks Podcast, a spicy pilgrimage to the Nashville fried chicken phenomenon. I'm Alex Tinker, and I'm joined again this week by my co-host, Mr. Gregory Gillaspie. Greg, how are we today?
I'm good. I start to wonder if you're ever going to say, I'm joined this week by someone else.
If I did, I'd be a little bit nervous. I mean, yeah, we're going to do a hot barbecue episode, and it's going to be like some pitmaster, and it's totally not going to be.
And you're not going to include me on that?
Actually, yeah, I would have to include you on that, Mr. Texas. Also, just a quick little introduction. We also are at our Hot Chicks photographers home today. So big shout out. Thank you, Sydney, for letting us record here. Thank you to Sydney's puppy, Bella, who you might hear a little bit later, but you know what? She's just part of the team. So she's just trying to give her input on some hot chicken.
She's in heat. So
that's a different kind of heat, Craig. That's
okay.
a different. Okay, starting us off strong. Well done. Yes,
this is also my home, but
it is
will be home in 20 days.
You got 20 days, man. We've been sorry about the last episode being delayed. I was traveling. Gregory is preparing for a wedding.
I was traveling too.
He also was traveling. As I said, we were both traveling. Well done.
But I did make good use of that time, and we'll talk about that.
We are going to talk about that, but real quick, let's talk about what we went through today. Greg, you want to tell us where we went?
We went to Helen's Hot Chicken.
Now, okay, I've heard of many different names that are around there, but I was wondering, because we've heard of Hella Hot, we've heard of a couple different Helen's locations. You want to tell me about what we learned a little bit today about the history of the brand?
So we learned a good amount. I'll just go ahead and let Sam Harrison take the wheel as far as what he can tell you about it.
Honestly, at this point in time, if Sam has enough for a history, if not, we're going to come back from a little bit of a pause break and see what we can come up with. But should we take it to Sam?
Yeah, take it away, Sam.
Some may remember a Nashville soul food kitchen from the 70s and 80s known as Helen and John's. They were known for all kinds of good eats, including their version of hot chicken. When Helen's grandson Jeremy decided to open a food truck, he brought along Helen and her recipe to a small trailer on a busy corner in Nashville's Germantown neighborhood in 2014. Word spread quickly and lines began to form. Sadly, Helen Mallard Grigsby passed away July 2nd, 2016. Carrying on with her recipe, Helen's Hot Chicken soared, and they soon expanded to multiple locations around town and in other states.
Now, we learned a lot of the history just by asking questions, because we actually got to meet the grandson of Helen Mallard. And so we actually got a good amount.
By the way, his name is Russell, and he was an outstanding person. And one thing that we didn't mention is the location of Helen's that we went to.
So my idea was, Alex said, let's do this on a Tuesday. And I said, okay. Well, Helen's actually has $3 leg quarters on Tuesdays. So how about we do Helen's? Who do a Helen's episode? And then I thought, there's multiple Helen's locations. And we'll get to this in a second, but in my experience, the biggest problem with Helen's has been the consistency. It's not bad. It has the capability of being good, but it's been kind of inconsistent. So I said, well, why don't we check out two Helen's? It's $3 leg quarters. Just hit up two. And anyway, so we So we started out at the Vanderbilt location, which I had never been to. And first of all, let me just say, what a strange building.
Oh my gosh. So I feel like we went down 3 different flights of steps.
Both locations are interesting. Let's just say that.
I'll say that. Yeah, that's fair.
I've been to I used to live in Hendersonville. You've been to the one in Rivergate. And I had been to the one off Jefferson years ago. Had not been to this one. This is the newest one, the one on Vanderbilt. And
has a really great mural on the side
also,
of it.
I said there's a special place in hell for the person that bought up all the street parking in Nashville. Like, there's no good reason to not be able to just park your car there. Anyway, so the parking at that location is annoying, unfortunately. But so it's a very interesting location. Apparently, it's been a bunch of different things, but now it's Helen's, and hopefully it'll be Helen's for a long time.
I hope so. I mean, after what we had today, it was actually pretty outstanding.
I think they're doing well. And that'll kind of bring us into the point of like, what's the purpose of this? And it clearly has a purpose for the college. Actually, both of these locations do.
And I was going to say, they're both literally across the street from 2 different campuses.
Vanderbilt and Tennessee State.
That's right.
Right. And so,
and Fisk is over over there as well.
Correct,
so I
correct.
mean, so
and then Belmont is not.
And Belmont is
So the Vanderbilt one, is definitely college. I mean, it's right near Satco. You know.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with what that is, that's San Antonio Taco Company. So,
which is for some reason an age-old Vanderbilt institution, for whatever reason. But
it makes no sense to me. But I'll tell you this much: their chicken tacos are outstanding.
It's a Nashville Vanderbilt institution called San Antonio Taco Company, where the thing to get is the wings.
Yeah.
So just
makes no sense to me.
Just try to swallow that one. And so anyway, it's next to that.
Chew first.
Good idea. Blue Hole Road.
Oh, stop it.
So
it took us 3 minutes to get you to say Blue Hole Road.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's a very interesting building. You walk in and it's like a house with a fireplace with a menu above the fireplace. And then you go downstairs into this eating area that is opened up to an outdoor patio thing that's covered. And it's interesting, but it is kind of cool. I did like it.
I would love to be there when it's raining because it's like that weird kind of patio, back patio, into the garage type situation.
Or snowing.
Snowing would be cool as well.
Hot chicken
in the snowstorm. Oh my goodness.
And so we decided to order everything on the menu.
We didn't order everything. We didn't get the wings.
No, but we usually don't get the wings. And the only time you've gotten wings, to my knowledge, is Bolton's.
That's correct.
And it doesn't really make sense because you get a wing with the breast quarter.
Correct.
It's usually a smaller wing.
Correct.
But still, I got the seafood platter, which included Nashville hot lobster, which only time I've seen that on a menu, which I did know Helen's had.
Yeah. Can we talk about that for a split second? I don't think that might have been the ritziest, maybe the fanciest kind of menu item that we've seen yet.
Well, it's like, how much can you Nashville hot? And if you Nashville hot things you're frying, seafood is easy to fry. I mean, lobster's not commonly fried.
No, it's really not.
But you know what? It was, I think, standalone, the price for the lobster was like $12.
It was not that bad.
Which is actually, and it wasn't small. It wasn't big, but
no, it was a decent sized tail, man.
So honestly, like, not if you really, really like lobster, but the seafood platter included lobster, shrimp, and catfish or whiting. I went with catfish, of course, and a side. And so, and it was like $26, something like that. And then on top of that, I got a
breast quarter.
And so,
yeah. And so what Greg didn't order off of the menu, I did.
Yeah.
So we got there's a 3 tender combo. I got 2 of them hot and 1 hella hot, but I could not tell which was which. To be very transparent with you, I could not tell the difference between them.
You did get 1 hella?
Apparently, but I don't think I did because they all I think it might have just been an order of hot, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Which I'm not upset by. They're hot. We'll get to it. Single tender. I got 1 single tender, and we're going to talk about that because that's our side chick, which I'm not excited about. I also snagged a single leg And with that leg,
Well, you got a thigh too.
yeah, it was the leg quarter. Thanks. Sorry. Got a thigh quarter or a leg quarter.
Two-piece leg and thigh.
We also got the sandwich.
We did get the sandwich.
And I got to be honest with you. We're going to talk a little bit about that because I was a bit surprised. But goodness, it seemed like a lot of food. We split it, I promise.
And you got fried okra.
I got fried okra.
Fries.
I got fries.
I got potato salad.
Yes, because I wanted the beans, but they were out of beans, and that's why I got the okra.
Today, Alex was not a bean boy.
I was not a bean boy.
Even though you could have gotten them at the Jefferson. We didn't think about that.
I didn't think about that.
And then a waffle.
And that's exactly what I was going to bring up. We got to talking to Russell, who is the grandson of Helen, and I looked and we got to talking, and to be very transparent with you, the number one thing he looked at and said is, you got to try waffle.
I asked him what sides they make, and he said mac and cheese and waffle.
In-house. Which sides did they make in-house?
Right.
And it was the mac and cheese and the waffle.
So the plan was, let's go there, and then let's hop over to the Jefferson Street location, which is also very close, and get a $3 leg quarter. Apparently, the $3 leg quarter special is only the Jefferson location, and they said maybe the Madison location.
Now, they did say that, but I got to be honest with you. I looked online, and I could not see that, so I'm wondering if it's
you go to the website,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure just the Helen's website, and you go to events,
okay,
I think it just says leg quarter, like Thursday.
Something along
It doesn't say anything about the locations. It just says...
Interesting.
If you go to special events,
yeah,
it goes October 22nd, leg quarter, weekly Tuesday, and this is before you've selected a location.
Your location.
I think.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
So anyway, the leg quarter was not $6 at... Oh, this is the Jefferson Street one. Okay. So
is that the website that you went to?
I guess it is. I guess.
Okay.
I guess they're separate websites. So when I moved to Nashville, Helen's is definitely part of the old guard.
It absolutely is.
Like this is like you had Prince's and Helen's and Bolton's.
Now,
these are the three oldest in Nashville.
This is not a joke. I wholeheartedly remember talking to you when you first got into town, and we started talking about hot chicken, and those were the three that you told me about.
I hadn't tried Helen's. When I met you, I had tried Prince's and Bolton's, but I hadn't tried Helen's yet.
But you were familiar with it.
Yeah, because there weren't the options we have now. This was 2018, and so...
Which, it's wild to think that in only, 6 years?
Yeah, it's blown up, and it's also, that's why I feel like you have to ask that question of, what purpose does this have? You know what I mean?
I don't. Can you expand on that?
Well, because when we moved here, there was hot chicken in town. There were several places that did hot chicken. It wasn't like there was a lack of hot chicken. There was just, maybe you had to drive a little bit further, but there was not a lack of hot chicken. And that's why I feel like you have to have a justification for opening up another hot chicken place in Nashville.
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
So that's why I ask, what does this role fill? So when we did BJ's, it was like, what's the purpose of this?
Sure.
You're next door to Moore's. Like, what's the purpose?
Overflow.
And it's from Moore's Overflow and better hours and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's the McDonald's Moore's.
It's when you don't want to deal with
Moore's Donald's.
Right. So anyway, Helen's is part of the old guard. This is as old school as it gets. Only more old school as Bolton's and Prince's.
I will say one of my favorite stories was, so I did get to talk to Miss Sonia for a little bit over at the Jefferson Street location. We're going to be bouncing back and forth a little bit on the stories, but we're going to keep the evaluation of the food first from the Vanderbilt location, and then we'll pepper in the details from the Jefferson Street location. But Miss Sonia, who is over at the Jefferson Street location, told me that, and actually Gregory as well, and
she's the one that started this.
Her and her business partner, who would have been Russell's uncle, got together and they started their food truck, and it was the concept of Helen's chicken, the basic recipes that they then both together punched up, and they created the business. And she was half of the original food truck. And again, I don't know if Sam is going to have the history on it, but here's what we've got. it started with a food truck, and I'm seeing a pattern here because Lily started with a food truck.
Hattie B's.
Hattie B's started
Kind of.
Well, yeah, they had the meat.
Hattie B's, the
Yes.
branded thing, was first a food truck.
Correct. So all that to be said, though, I'm seeing a pattern with starting with a food truck and then coming from, like building up. Now, I will be honest with you. After she told me this, it made a little bit more sense as to where all the different locations came from, because she did say there were a few franchises.
Yes.
So which ones do we have confirmed that are franchises? There's Rock Hill.
I think they're all franchises except for the ones we went to, I think.
Really?
I think. They said there's one in Antioch?
Smyrna.
Okay.
They said there's one in Smyrna.
That one might not be.
That might be original, but...
So here's a fun fact, Alex. There used to be, they told me it closed because I thought it was still open. Used to be a Helen's in Dallas-Fort Worth.
What?
Yes.
Out your neck of the woods?
Yeah, where I'm from. I don't know what.
How did that...
Franchise. Somebody knew them. I never went to it. I kind of wish I had, but...
Oh my gosh, just to have the background now.
Yeah.
That would have been invaluable.
And that was the only one outside of the Nashville area, to my understanding.
Really?
For some reason, Dallas-Fort Worth, they put one there. So that one closed. There's still the one in Madison, which is the one I've been to probably most up to this point.
I've not been to any Helen's.
Okay. That one is a franchise.
Okay.
For sure. And then we have things like we've talked about previously about Firecracker out in Hermitage, Mount Juliet. Like that used to be a Helen's. Then it was bought by Firecracker sold, whatever. Then Asian people bought it, kept the hot chicken, added Chinese food. And
Which I gotta be honest with you, man. You get me some hot chicken over fried rice, and it was good. I'll eat it all day.
It wasn't like top notch Chinese food or anything, but it was like just American Chinese food, and it was good. Like with I wish that place still existed.
General Tso's hot chicken, man. I'd do it all day.
Yeah, dude. I wish it still existed.
Gosh, wait, hold on, stop, pause. General Tso's hot chicken. Sounds pretty awesome.
It does.
That sounds pretty awesome.
Whoa.
Go on.
Should we gussify some General Tso's?
Huh.
And make it Nashville hot?
So we, pause. I like the fact that we're using the phrase gussify to...
He's evolved on this.
Yes, because I previously did not like how often Greg was saying the word gussify. But if we associate in our phrase gussify and gussification to taking a food item that is not Nashville hot and creating it Nashville hot.
Which makes no sense.
Makes no sense. I love that.
Okay.
So should we gussify?
Get some Gus's and make it General Tso's.
General Tso
Gus's
hot chicken.
Yeah.
General Gus's hot chicken.
General Gus's.
We're going to gussify some General Tso's. Yes, TM. This is trademarked to us.
If Gus's is a franchise, I don't know why we don't just open up our own and do all these things.
They would not.
I don't know if it's a franchise. I don't know. But,
I don't either.
But either way, so Helen's, and then clearly you have Hella.
Now, okay.
Which is funny because it's like clearly Russell told us, they sold, whoever owned it as a franchise sold it. The new owners took it and just like used the Helen's branding to make it as easy as possible, which is just funny. And now there's two Hellas.
No.
There's one down the street here.
Get out of here.
So, yeah.
I did not realize that. I did not realize that there's a second Hella.
So we'll have to try it and see how different it is from Helen's.
Okay.
I have had it. I've had it twice actually, and I actually don't remember it being that bad. But anyway, but we did want to check in on the consistency and what we're finding is most likely the inconsistency comes from that franchising aspect.
Agreed.
Because the places we went to were not franchises.
No, they weren't. And honestly, the flavor was, you can still...
It was the same.
Yeah.
And the quality was the same. But that's spoilers, but that's what we were testing out. And it was basically the same. It was very similar.
And it also was one of those few times where Now, I will say there was a difference in the tenders from like what I was told at one location and what I was told at the other location.
What do you mean?
So I don't know if you remember, but Russell said that they get their tenders in.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So they get their tenders in. And what Miss Sonia said is they don't get any chicken frozen. So they marinate theirs.
She said they marinated.
She said they marinate theirs.
Mm.
So we are going to at some point in time have to go back there to taste some things that we did not try so that we can taste the differences.
Yeah, he told us they come marinated it from the supplier.
Pre-marinated, yes.
I don't know. I haven't heard of that, but I don't doubt it. And
it's out there.
Okay.
It's in quick service restaurants or other, type of food purveyors. Like Cisco has pre-marinated tenders. You know what I mean? So
to run down,
that could have been any food purveyor, insert anything. It's not just that.
To run down the food, I mean, we'll go into in more detail, but you're going to find a theme.
Yeah, you're going to see a very, very, very quick theme.
Fastball.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I did not think that he was accurate about that. But Gregory, I need you to say that one more time.
Just straight down the middle, fastball, 6 or 7 out of 10. Like, just this is
you're not looking for a 10. You're not looking for that knock your socks off, smack you in the jaw kind of hot chicken. But
it's that baseline. Like, you ever gone to New York City and had a slice of pizza from Joe's? Joe's is very famous. People think it's amazing. It's really just it's straight down the middle. It's New York pizza. It's done well, but it's New York pizza.
That's right.
And so this is like quintessential Nashville hot chicken.
And I didn't...
Like, if there was a Nashville hot chicken picture in the dictionary, it probably should be Prince's. Like, but because they invented it. But this, if you're kind of giving it an umbrella picture of all the this is the most in the middle of the bell curve, or whatever you want to put it, Venn diagram, whatever. This is the most in the middle. It's not to this. It's not to that. It's hot chicken.
I will say the one thing that I wish would have been a little bit different is I wish I would have gotten the tenders double tossed, because the mop was not dry, but it could have used a little bit more oil on it. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, you'd have to know to order that.
Exactly.
And so that's something and so you can tell people that, like hey,
yeah, double toss.
So I started with the shrimp.
You did. We both did.
Shrimp were huge and good. They do not beat
hot stuff.
Yeah, just to nip that in the butt. They do not beat hot stuff shrimp. The hot stuff shrimp's flavor, like they were coated and like
hot stuff shrimp, if I may. I feel like hot stuff shrimp, for as cheap and consistent, like for as cheap as it is, for the type of heat and for what you're getting, we're going to be hard pressed to find another piece of shrimp that beats the shrimp basket at Hot Stuff on Bell.
Yeah, hot stuff shrimp was good, and these were meatier, bigger shrimp, and maybe I'll even say maybe they were fried better. But I still prefer hot stuff. I like the flavoring of the hot stuff. They were just really heavily coated and spicy and all that. And so then the fish.
I will say the flavor on the ones that we had here were more flavorful, and I think that's the batter.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think the flavor was. No, that's what I liked about hot stuff. Is the flavor. And so I would say maybe that, like I said, maybe the texture's better at Helen's.
I could see that.
And the quality of shrimp.
Y'all, listen, I've spent a lot of time in my life. I've spent a lot of time in my life cooking seafood.
He spent a lot of his time in his life eating shrimp.
You can boil them, you can broil them, you can saute them.
Shrimp gumbo.
There's a shrimp boil. There's a shrimp stew. That's about it. Anyway, I've spent a lot of time cooking seafood. These shrimp, like the way that they were prepared, all of the fish in the seafood platter were outstanding. I mean, they were prepared wonderfully.
The fish was okay. The fish was my least favorite thing in that, just because it didn't have much crisp to it. It wasn't.
That's fair.
It was not bad. Like it
wasn't.
It's kind of like, I don't know if I'd put it above hot stuff. It wasn't chewy though. I will say that every once in a while there's a little bit of like the outside of the fish doesn't get crispy. It gets chewy. If you know what I mean.
Like foul plays. Foul plays.
Yes.
Yes.
And this one was not. So I would probably prefer the more delicate, texture.
Bolton's.
Bolton's is.
Bolton's
But
fish.
Bolton's has some crisp to it.
It does.
And Bolton's had more flavor.
I'll agree. The fish was good,
It was
but
lacking some salt, I think.
I'll agree with that.
We forgot to talk about the lobster, because that's actually the first thing we ate. We split the lobster tail in half and ate it.
We ate shrimp first and then lobster. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We did. The lobster was good, not great. It was a fried lobster tail. It wasn't. It was well fried. It was tender. Alex, I'm just not the biggest lobster guy. I don't dislike lobster. I like lobster. I'd take crab over lobster any day. The shrimp.
You have crabs? What?
Blue Hole Road.
Blue Hole Road. Here we go. I don't get to make. I don't get to. Okay. Did you actually buy?
This is a gift for you, Alex.
Oh.
And I've been waiting for the moment to give it to you.
Should I thank Sydney for this one? Is this a Sydney?
Actually, very technically, my mom paid for it.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Greg's mom.
There's a story that we were getting kolaches in Texas when.
Is this why you asked me if I have a rubber chicken?
Yeah.
Oh, you beautiful. Oh, this is wonderful. What you can't see is this rubber chicken's holding a guitar. It's like you know me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And it's blue, just like our favorite road.
Okay, I'm done. That's awesome.
No, you're not.
No, I'm.
Now you have to put it in the case. And
oh, I will. Don't worry. This is. We're gonna have a. Like
I said, have a few surprises this episode.
We're gonna have a vote to name this rubber chicken, in case you're curious.
Okay.
It's going to be up to our listeners, so be prepared for that coming up. Please, nothing.
Sydney, you're one of our listeners, so you better give a suggestion or a vote.
Oh, no, he's blue.
His name could be Gussified.
Could be Gus.
Gus Free.
Gus Free?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Continue.
So, the lobster was good. It was a bucket. Like, let me try it. Let's see it. I wouldn't get it again. I did prefer the shrimp. But it was good. No complaints about it or anything.
I have no complaints either. He handed me a piece.
Crispy.
And honestly, I think
it was cooked well.
It was cooked well. It was actually one of the coolest things about it is never have I thought of Nashville hot lobster.
Something we haven't tried yet is, I've never tried that several places do, is a Nashville hot pork chop.
I would eat, if you put that on the top of my head, my tongue would go through my brain to get to it.
You put some pork on your fork.
Is that New York?
You're going to dine on the swine.
We're going to dine on the swine?
So, anyway,
right.
So that was the seafood platter. I also got potato salad. Potato salad was good.
It was... We know that they're
not making it, but it's good.
They're not making it, but daggone it, is it not awesome?
I mean, so Prince's, I don't think they're probably making that. I don't think.
No, I assume that it's probably along the same lines.
But Prince's is better. It's not as good as Prince's potato salad, which they're probably also not making, but it's really good.
Did Lily's make theirs?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, but do you remember the level of passion that he had for each thing that they did not make? They selected everything. So
did we try the potato salad? I don't remember.
I don't even remember.
I don't think we did.
I know that they hand selected this certain type of pickles because it works with the flavor.
Sure.
Okay, continue.
So then I got into my breast quarter, and it was a good breast quarter. No complaints. Good heat. We got hot. Everything was just hot. Seafood was definitely lacking heat. All that though. I will agree. That is a complaint.
Yeah.
But no complaints on the breast quarter. I gave you some. I don't know how you felt about it versus the tenders. If it was bone in or go home to this time, or if it was just about equal.
Do you want me to say this?
Yeah.
With a bone or going home on this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The breast quarter was one of the best breast quarters I've had in a long time. I'm a tremendous fan. Obviously, listen, I get tenders because I want to evaluate them. And it takes a lot for me to love tenders over bone in, but the white meat quarter that we had today at Helen's at Vanderbilt, I would get time and time again. It was that good.
And it was actually probably that white meat was actually better than the dark meat, which I prefer dark meat.
Which I wanted to talk to you about.
I know why that is, though.
Okay, this is something I wanted to talk about. Can you go on to why that is?
Yes.
Please.
So I'll relate to the first time I had Helen's off Jefferson.
Okay.
First time I went, I did go for $3 leg quarter day.
Nice.
And the leg quarter was the biggest leg quarter I have ever seen. It filled up the entire box. Styrofoam box. It was massive. It was.
Did you get a side or was it just the leg quarter?
I can't remember.
But it filled the box.
It filled the box, like the entire from top to bottom. It was filled. This was the biggest leg quarter I've ever seen.
Huh.
And you thought that one was big today.
I really did.
Big.
It was a big leg quarter.
And the bread was completely, there was a hole in the bread with how much grease it had just soaked through and torn through. So it was greasy.
Wet mop. Okay.
Yeah. Well, but from the chicken, not from the oil dredge. Yes. It was great. It was just that greasy. I think the way Helen's fries, for some reason, the leg quarter comes out less crispy because of the fattiness of the dark meat.
Do you remember?
The white meat, you end up getting it crispier and stuff. That's my analysis.
Do you remember what Russell said about how they cook?
Oh, I don't think so.
They don't cook to watching temp and pulling it out and checking temp and putting back in.
Time.
They cook by time.
Yeah, but surely they would have that dialed in, like just different for different pieces of chicken.
You would think that, but what if hypothetically a fryer's running hot that day?
I will say this. The leg quarter I just had from the Jefferson location was not as greasy, was crispier, was a little similar. Like they're both similar, but marginally better. And it was smaller. It was actually smaller. I think.
Wait, it was smaller than the one from Vandy?
The Vandy one was huge.
Vandy one was massive.
These were small. And I think that's probably part of it. Maybe if you just get a big, huge leg quarter, there's just a lot of fat in it.
Okay.
Could be. And that fat just is not good for the frying process. It just ends up
steaming it almost instead of
some of it renders and it just kind of gets greasy.
Okay.
There's the grease that just comes from the inside of the chicken and once it's trying to cool. So anyway,
so would you agree also after trying everything you would say with a bone at or going home from
I'm going to say that most times anyways, but yes.
I'm only asking because I want to verify. It was one of those times where
however,
the
sandwich. Mr. Alex, the fourth.
Okay.
Third.
Fourth. Yeah, I'm the fourth. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say about this. And this might be a little bit contradictory to what I just said, but I think that the breast cutlet that they're using on the sandwich is actually a breast quarter that they are deboning for the sandwich.
I would guess they're just getting it.
Do you think they're just...
I would guess, but...
It's the same flavor, but I'm telling you right now, the sandwich breast quarter, like the sandwich itself, like the chicken sandwich at Vanderbilt, it didn't come with onions like it showed at the
I think we're learning
Jefferson location.
There are differences between the locations. Like
the nuances.
There are nuanced differences down to price. Like
yes.
Like we were talking about how certain things like the seafood, things. The Vanderbilt location was actually as a whole cheaper.
Agreed.
Which is very surprising to me.
I would have thought it would have been opposite.
I totally would have thought it would have been opposite.
Finish with the sandwich, and then I want to tangent from the sandwich to the waffle. Okay. So the sandwich itself, I'm telling you right now, it was one of the most succulent pieces of white meat chicken.
I think you have squeezed that rooster.
Okay, sorry. Succulent pieces of white meat chicken that I have ever had. In the process, I'm gonna be very honest with you. It was one of the very few times that I had a chicken sandwich that did not have tenders on it instead of a thigh or a breast.
Right.
And I do not like sandwiches where they are tenders instead of
Same.
Different.
You know what I
cut of meat.
noticed?
What's up?
Because we almost went to Pepper Fry.
Yeah, we almost did. Yeah.
And I was looking at the menu. They have 2 sandwiches there. One is with tenders and one is without.
Really?
One is a tender sandwich, like with just tenders on it, and one is not. They literally offer you 2 options.
See, that I respect because they understand that there's a difference.
Now, the one without tenders might be a thigh.
But wasn't Prince's a thigh as well?
No, it wasn't a thigh.
Are you sure?
No. Subcultures is a thigh. Subculture just uses dark meat for their chicken, which was one of the reasons why it's so amazing.
That's true.
But no, it wasn't a thigh. I still prefer, and also I still prefer the Prince's sandwich over this, but this was really good.
Now, see, I got to be honest with you. I looked at you, and I prefer the flavor, and I prefer the sandwich bun, the sweet roll. What is it?
Yeah, it was a Hawaiian roll.
Hawaiian roll. I'm referring to Prince's on the flavor and the roll,
The sweet heat or the sweet and sassy, whatever it was.
Sweet heat. I would take the breast quarter meat from the Vanderbilt location of Helen's over the meat of the chicken at Prince's for the sandwich. I'm telling you right now, that deboned breast quarter on the sandwich was one of the most succulent pieces of white chicken that I have ever had in my lifetime on a sandwich. It was that good.
It was very good. To me, it was missing something. To me, it needed coleslaw or sauce or something.
I actually even just looked and I was like, oh, they put onions on theirs at Jefferson. That would have changed something about it.
And I could have sworn when I had this sandwich, because I had a Helen sandwich when it got added to the menu at the Madison location. And it was during that Popeyes craze and all that. Like,
oh, the chicken sandwich wars.
Yeah,
there's the chicken sandwich wars in 2020.
That's when Helen's came out with the sandwich. I'm not kidding.
No.
Yeah, they threw their
Helen's threw their hat in the ring during the chicken sandwich wars.
They did, and
it was 2021, by the way. I'm pretty sure.
Whenever it was, that's
2021.
That's when Helen's dipped their toes in.
I cannot believe that.
I thought it had slaw or something on it. To me, it needed it's slaw. So what Prince's has is it has slaw, pickles, and sauce. Correct. This just had pickles, and it could have used a sauce. They might have, they probably have ranch. They might have honey mustard. In retrospect, I would have maybe asked for some honey mustard thrown on there. That would have been good.
Yeah.
So it needed something, but it was really good. Like
it was outstanding. It really was.
But that's not our sleeper.
That was not the sleeper. Actually, Greg, thank you for saying that. Do you want to go and tell everyone who's listening what the sleeper was for this location?
Don't sleep on the waffle.
Don't sleep on the waffle, y'all.
Man.
I got to be honest, and I'm going to go through, I took pictures of the menu. I'm going to do this real quickly. We took some great pictures tonight. The breast quarter single is $7.99, and as a combo, by the way, with any combo, you get one side and a drink. The combo of the breast quarter is $11.99. Leg quarter, same price. A single piece is $7 and a combo is $11.50. Wings, single is $3.50. 3 piece is $10.50 and a combo is $15. You got tenders. A single is $3.50. 3 pieces $10.50 and a combo is $14.50. The sandwich as just a sandwich is $6.50. And then you got the combo is $11. Listen, I could go through the wingette meal, the gizzards, the chicken and waffles, the kid meal. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to go straight into, you've got the seafood platter is $26.99, 1 lobster tail, 4 pieces of jumbo shrimp, your side. Your choice of either whiting or catfish was side item. Now the sides, baked beans, coleslaw, fried okra, potato salad, french fries, and a waffle. Everything is $3.25 except for the waffle, which is $4.
$4 for the waffle.
I got to be honest with you, and I thought about this on the way over here, okay? You've got a $4 waffle, right? And it was a cake.
It's a dense, thick boy.
It's a thick boy. It's
so when
thick with 2 C's, man.
When Russell brought us our food, he said, first and foremost, try the waffle while it's hot.
While it's hot.
And I don't think you have to, but we did.
It's the antithesis to the Waffle House waffle.
Yes, because Waffle House is nice and light and fluffy, and those are terms you would use to describe like complimentary terms for a waffle.
Correct.
This is dense. This is cakey.
It's tall,
but it's good.
It's so much more of a Belgian waffle than it is a regular waffle. If you are familiar with the difference in Belgian and like a traditional waffle, like it's a thicker, taller, heavier. It's a
dense.
cake.
It's dense. It's a dessert.
It's
a dessert, but with it being, because this thing has some heft to it, and like, I mean, the waffle alone could fill some people up.
Well, that was. I'm sorry, I jump in. No. Finish your thought. For
$4.
So that's exactly what I was thinking about this. There has to be someone out there, right? There has to be someone out there who is looking for a $7 or a $9 hangover cure, right? Somebody on Vanderbilt campus has to need a hangover cure for, like something to eat. And I'm telling you, you get yourself a waffle and you get yourself a chicken tender in either, you can either get it in plain, mild, hot, or hella hot. I mean, dude, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, well,
we'll talk about that.
To be continued. But for a $3 $3.50 chicken tender and a $4 waffle, and trust me, it's gonna fill you up. It's a heavy waffle, right? You put both of those things together, you are going to have a hangover cure for $7.50. It is a $7.50 sleeper, and most importantly, and I think the coolest thing about this is, Gregory, seriously, you would agree, you will attest. That waffle, we talked about specifically how he went places like Miami and tried different kinds of waffles.
Yeah. And I do recall the firecracker waffle being good.
Okay.
So I bet it was the same thing.
Do you really think it was the same thing?
It probably was. It's been years, but I remember it being really good. And so, man, don't sleep on the waffle.
Don't sleep on the waffle.
It's a dessert. It's $4 specifically at the Vanderbilt location.
Specifically at the
Jefferson,
Vanderbilt.
it's
$6 at the Vanderbilt location.
But
I'm Jefferson Street location.
The waffle was my favorite thing I ate today.
I'm going to agree with you. The waffle at the Vanderbilt location was outstanding. It was outstanding. And I wish you said it best. I wish you would have used both of the syrups.
Yeah.
I would have, had I known what I was about to eat, I would have 1000% eaten or gotten more syrup on that. It was great.
It was amazing. So
what are we looking at? You got a leg quarter. You talked about your sides? Fries were frozen.
Fries were probably frozen, but they weren't crinkle cut.
They were not crinkle cut.
I did kind of appreciate that because you get tired of seeing the same thing.
Very much so. They were Great American. They were not steak fries. They were not.
You see some potato skin on them.
Yeah, you do.
They're probably frozen, not super crispy.
No, they were.
They're fine.
Yeah.
And
okra.
Oh, right, the fried okra.
The okra, even I'll say an hour and a half after when we ate it and we packaged it up, I just pulled a piece out whenever we got here, and it still held up. It still had some crisp to it. I'm telling you right now.
Sydney was loving it. So.
Yeah, and she's an okra gal, so
she is an okra gal.
And that was one of the few things that we did get as sides, and it was good. It was really good. I did not get to try the slaw. We realized
you did
at the Vanderbilt location.
That's right.
Yeah, so we realized halfway through that they forgot my slaw, and I forgot to ask them for it.
So then we hopped over to the Jefferson.
Went to Jefferson.
Which was also an interesting.
Y'all, we're going to do an episode on that one at some point in time, but...
I walked in there. First of all, it'd been several years since I've been there.
I've never been.
I walked in. So it used to be a big, mostly empty space with just tables. Big, empty tables.
I stand corrected. I went past it when the tornado went through North Nashville in 2020 because I was doing cleanup.
You haven't been inside.
I had never been inside, but I saw where it was, and I did not see the... Well, Gregory, why don't you tell us?
I walk in.
Yeah.
And I'm immediately just shocked. Because first of all, first impression is, whoa, they renovated this. This looks much, much nicer and trendier.
Yep.
And then I realized there was fog or smoke everywhere. And I'm like, what is going on? Is there a fire? But there wasn't a fire smell. And then there's like music and groovy lights. And I realized they had turned part of it into like a club.
It's a hookah bar.
Okay.
It's a hookah bar. And I gotta be honest with you, I want to hang out there. It looks awesome.
Okay.
I'm not cool enough to hang out there, but I would want to.
Man, I was confused. I was like, what is going on? And I did take a peek in there, and sure enough, it's a hookah bar that's part of Helen's. So anyway.
Helen's Hookah. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out. Yeah. But Miss Sonia was working at the, so we had Russell over at the Vanderbilt location. We had Miss Sonia, who we had discussed earlier today. But I got to ask, I mean, Gregory, you got to talk to her too. She's the real deal. James Neal. She's absolutely.
Yeah. She started this business basically,
with the family.
Yeah. And they are using the name to honor Helen. And this is mostly her endeavor. It sounds like mostly. I mean, but it's the family and her, and she made it sound like it's mostly her recipes ish. I don't know.
It was a lot of Helen's recipes that her business partner had brought in, and she tweaked the recipes for the business itself. That's what I took away. If that's not right, Miss Sonia, please let us know.
Well, Russell also said this was kind of just how it was with them growing up, and that's something to talk about briefly. This is one of the reasons we're doing this. It's like, this is culture, right? Like what we're eating to a lot of people is just chicken. Like everywhere else, Nashville hot chicken is blowing up, but to people like Russell, he grew up eating chicken. Well, and this is how it was served.
Well, and that's the thing. You said it best. We're doing this, and one of the things I said to Austin Pollock whenever he was when he was interviewing us for News Channel 5, is he said, why do you do
that
this?
Emmy winner, Austin Pollock?
That's Emmy winning news reporter, Mr. Austin Pollock.
Wow.
Very proud of him, and he will forever be a part of the Hot Chicks family.
Whether he wants to or not.
Yeah, we're claiming you. No, but to be honest with you, he asked me at some point in time, off camera, camera and off mic, he said, so why do you do this? And I said, if the only thing we did was got Miss Andre Prince, Bill Purcell, a member of the Bolton's family, and Nick Jr. from the Bishop family together at a table, and I just said the phrase, hey, I just wanted to say thank you, that would be enough. Because they have taken a snapshot of a culture, and you said it best, this was Russell's grandmother's chicken. They didn't call it hot chicken. They just called it grandma's chicken.
This was just chicken.
Like,
that's how, think about that. World is going crazy for Nashville hot chicken. And to a lot of people, they probably didn't even know chicken any other way.
It would be like the kid from Ratatouille, the food critic. It would be like if he was going around to a bunch of different restaurants that had Mima's Ratatouille. You know what I mean? And it would be like that kind of a situation. If the world was going crazy for Ratatouille and he grew up eating it and it was his comfort food. In this case, Russell's over here and he's telling us these stories. He said, my grandmother, we just want to honor her because you could bring a friend over to her house and it didn't even matter if she knew their name or not. She was going to put a place at her table and she was going to feed them.
Yeah. He said Helen was very hospitable. And so, he had good memories of her.
I mean, and I know we're kind of rambling on this, but I think one of the best parts about going to Helen's today, and maybe I'm just overthinking this, but it kind of encapsulated exactly what we've been trying to, like the story we've been trying to tell.
Yeah, it did. It was very much family, people, culture, and it's interesting how each Helen's is different and like slightly similar, but slightly different. And so you probably see some personality difference in those changes. And I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of disjointed, but it's also kind of cool at the same time. And so, When we went over to the other one, yeah, we got leg quarters, slaw, so you could try slaw. And you decided to...
Yeah, I was going to try
fancy pants over here.
I was going to try something new. I wanted to try gizzards, which I had never had before.
Now that we're talking culture.
Yeah.
This is something people eat.
I got to be honest with you.
Nashville hot gizzard.
It was one, the flavor was outstanding.
Tastes like chicken.
It did taste like chicken. I'm not a fan of the consistencies.
Chicken bubble gum.
Can you say that one more time with context?
If you ever just was eating a piece of chicken, was like, I just wish this was chewier, that's what this is. Chicken bubble gum.
He said it and it instantly made sense to me, so I'm just going to claim that.
Yeah.
But I'm
fried beautifully.
Fried beautifully. It was perfectly prepared. But then again, to me,
if you like gizzards, you'll love it.
If you like gizzards, get these hella hot, because we went hot on them, and I'm telling you
true.
right now, you know what I mean?
Well, when I told you, Alex, when I go to Helen's just on my own, I have gotten hella.
Oh,
just
is that
eat. We got everything hot.
Yeah,
but I usually get hella.
You know what, Gregory? That's a great point.
And actually, Russell talked about that.
He did. Do you want to talk about?
He said he wanted specifically, which makes sense, to make these heat levels more accessible to people, and that probably helps them out a lot, because people go in there and don't know, and then they get something too hot and then they complain. And I think people are learning more and more and more with Nashville hot. Hey, this isn't buffalo sauce, but still, it's, it's not, they're generally not trying to be like the other places and make it as hot as possible. They're just trying to give you a nice varying amount of heat. It goes up to that's got a kick, but nothing beyond that. Except.
Well, and I really wish you wouldn't have said that, because
we were expecting this to be a walk in the park today.
I was so excited.
I was thinking about saying, Alex, I don't even know if we'll do a side chick. Maybe we should just get everything hella hot and enjoy it. But then I thought, well, we'll get a hella hot side chick. But then,
then Gregory had to go.
Alex likes to talk, first of all.
And then Gregory talked, and it was...
Anyway, somehow through conversation.
Yeah, somehow. Gregory opened his mouth as how.
Russell brought up, well, we have an off-menu heat level that's really hot.
Now, Gregory...
We call it atomic.
Nuclear. We call it nuclear hot. And the moment that he said that, I wanted Gregory to be silent so quickly, and his eyes just lit up.
It was like, well, we have to try that.
Do you ever have you ever been around a friend that you just instantly know is going to go along with a bad decision the moment you say it? That was the moment after Russell said, well, we do have an option called nuclear hot, and we kind of have a challenge for it. He didn't
mention the challenge till later.
He didn't, but I saw Gregory's wheels, and he just lit up.
Well, he also said part of it was because we had agreed to do 2 locations, but we hadn't really discussed how much of each we were going to do. We just decided to go to the Vanderbilt one first. And then he said, it's just this location.
Yeah, they don't have this flavor at any other location.
So we came to the right place or the wrong place, depending on how you want to look at it.
You know what? And here's, I think, the best way to do this. We're going to do our ranking. Do you want to do the ranking at the end so that we can do...
For chicken or heat?
All.
We'll do the chicken now and then the heat
after. Okay.
But by the way, at the Jefferson location, she did say... She's like, oh, I can make it hotter. But when I did ask her about it, I just kind of pushed her on it. I was like, okay, do you mean extra ingredients or
extra of the spice?
Same stuff. Yeah. And she did kind of say same stuff. I think whatever Russell's doing at the Vanderbilt location is different ingredients. I think stuff is getting added to the nuclear. That's...
Well, we're going to have
So if I was to guess, the hotter level is there. But then after he gave it to us, he even said, oh, I actually can make it hotter than this, and then you have to sign a waiver. I tried to get him to give it to us. He actually wouldn't do it.
No,
he actually said, no, I want you to try that one first. And so I don't know. He was like, look, we're not trying to maybe make the hottest thing in the world. but it's going to hurt.
Yeah, I'm not excited, and I'm going to apologize to my lovely wife. I'm sorry. But Gregory, before we try this side chick, let's go ahead and get this going. For the Hot Chicks podcast ranking of Bone-In, we currently have, starting at number 1, working our way down to number 7, we have Lily's, followed by Hot Stuff, Prince's, Foul Play, Nashville Hot Chicken and Gyro, or Eero, however you decide to say it, BJ Hot Chicken in Hendersonville, and Bolton's coming in at number 7. Where on the Bone-In ranking would you put this?
This one is actually kind of tough. I'm going to put it. I am going to put it above Hot Chicken and Gyro.
So below Foul Play.
Below Foul Play.
I agree with that.
So is that right smack in the middle of the list?
Smack dab in the middle.
That makes sense. I didn't even think about that, but that makes sense. It's just it's fastball hot chicken.
Fastball hot chicken.
You know what? It will probably, regardless of how many we add to this list, it will probably stay near the middle. It probably will. My deciding factor with that was how Hot Chicken and Gyro was just a little bit more outside the bell curve, you know. Maybe the Blue Hole Road juice they were using.
They also didn't have a breast quarter.
Oh yeah, and it was good. I enjoyed it, but again, you start to question: is this Nashville hot? So I am going to put it above them for that.
Okay.
And yeah, what is that, number 5?
That's number 5. It's fastball special, straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, for the tenders. For the tenders at the Vandy location, I'm specifying locations.
Right.
So this is just Helen's at Vandy. Number 1, starting at number...
Mine is for both, though, because I did try the Bone-In at both.
You did?
Yeah.
You did. The tenders, though, is just going to be the Vandy location. Hot Chicks Podcast rating for tenders, starting at number 1, working our way down to number 7. We have Foul Play, followed by Lily's, Nashville Hot Chicken and Eero, Prince's at the Tanger Outlet, BJ Hot Chicken, Hendersonville, Bolton's, and Hot Stuff. Greg, I have my idea, but I'm going to need to hear yours.
If I was to guess, it's going to be above Bolton's.
I agree. That's exactly where I was going to put it. That is exactly where I was going to put it. It's not number 5, it's number 6, but I agree with that entirely.
Sorry, what's in between? What's above Bolton's again?
A BJ Hot Chicken.
Oh, you wouldn't put it above BJ?
Well, here's how I thought about this. I liked I
would probably put it above BJ personally, but tell me what you think.
Here's why I say this, okay? Work with me on this, okay?
I'm working.
I like the fact that they are larger than BJ, right? But
Not by much. BJ has 3 or 4 locations.
No, I'm talking size of tender.
Oh.
I feel like the preparation, you know what though? BJ was a dust and the flavor of them weren't too wild, and it actually was one of the few locations that made me have to use the honey mustard cup that they gave you. You know what? No, I see what you were going to do. It had to be above Bolton's. It definitely was above Hot Stuff. I did not like their tenders. But it was not actually as good as the Prince's at the Tanger Outlets.
I don't think so.
No. I don't think it was that good. So you know what? I'm going to go straight number 5. It's fastball special, y'all.
Yeah, makes sense. And like I said, probably continue to add this list, and it's just going to stay in the middle. That's where Helen's is.
I'm going to be honest with you. The moment we got to talking about BJ Hot Chicken with the dry spice and how they don't oil dredge it,
or that much, we don't know,
or that much if they do. That one definitely, yeah. I'm great with that.
Remember, the best thing at BJ was the thing on the stick.
Yeah, the ice cream,
which was good,
which was awesome. So, okay, so
do we want to do a fish ranking real quick? Because
I don't know if we have a fish ranking.
I think we could easily make one. I think we do have one though.
Hold on.
It's easy to have a shrimp ranking. Hot Stuff 1, Helen's 2.
Bud,
would you agree with that, or would you
Hot Stuff 1, Helen's 2? Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that in a heartbeat.
Not as No, there are perks where there are things I like more about the shrimp.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
I do prefer the shrimp.
I do not mean that in a disrespectful way.
That was the best thing at Hot Stuff was the shrimp.
I will say, I mean, if we're going to talk about fish, not every place has fish, so I don't want to get too far into a fish ranking. But
we've tried like 5.
Have we really?
We've tried it at Bolton's. We've tried it at Lily's. We've tried it at Hot Stuff. We've tried it here at Helen's, and then we've tried it at Foul Play.
All right, you know what? How about this? We're gonna do it.
We did not try fish. The only place we haven't tried fish at is BJ. That's the only time we haven't ordered fish.
Not true. Hot Chicken and Nero.
They didn't have it.
Correct.
I think they didn't have it.
Correct.
So that's why. But
all right. So what do we got for number 1? Bolton's. No.
Lily's might.
Oh my gosh, the SWAT or the Sway.
I'm gonna give it to Lily's.
Yeah, Lily's.
Lily's edges out Bolton's because of what it's a higher quality fish. It's so good. Then Bolton's.
Gosh, and we got that in the lemon pepper, dude. Do you remember that?
Well, we got half and half. Half hot and half hot lemon.
We did. That lemon pepper, though, on that fish sandwich at Lily's, man. Yeah. I went back for that.
Did you?
I did, because I work at Cummins Station. And I'm going to tell you, on a day whenever they weren't pumping them out, minute after minute on a Sunday, that was one of the best sandwiches, fish sandwiches. It was just as good, if not better.
You need to tell me when you're going sometime.
I'm sorry.
I've only been to Lily's that one time.
Oh, dude, we got to go back.
I know.
I took some interns that we had there, and they looked at me and they said, "This is awesome."
I keep telling people about it. For downtown hot chicken, that's the spot.
That's exactly what I tell people. I'm like, do you want? Don't
go to Hetty B's. Go to Lily's.
This is exactly what I say. I say, do you have a car and are you willing to travel? And if they say yes, I say, cool. There's this place up in Gallatin. It's a little way out, and it's called Foul Play. You got to go up there and try the Joseph's chicken. Period. That's my number 1 suggestion. That is my favorite hot chicken dish, bar none. Right? But I say, if you want to stay in Davidson County, go to Lily's. Period. End of story.
Yeah, Prince's,
Go to Lily's. Okay. That's what I'm going to say.
I tell people go to Prince's if you don't want to drive.
Correct.
Then go to Lily's.
Okay, so number 2, we got Lily's at number 1.
Easy.
Yeah. The gap between the two of them is not nearly as high as the gap between.
Those stand out above the rest.
Yeah, agreed.
So, then we go to
Hot Stuff.
No, I'm gonna say this.
This one.
I'd say this one.
I'm shocked because I thought you were gonna go Hot Stuff on that one.
No, the hot stuff might go last. I don't know. It wasn't bad. None of them have been bad.
Okay.
There's one place in town that has fish that I would say is bad.
Hold on. So Helen's at Vandy. Hold on real quick. Hold on to your hat. At Vandy. Number 4 is, we're going to go then, would that be Foul Play?
I'm going to go Foul Play.
Okay.
And then Hot Stuff. And I'll tell you why. It's because Hot Stuff did kind of suffer from the outside not being crispy, getting chewy kind of thing. And I think slightly Foul Play to 2, but I'm trying to rank them in that order of which one went. I think Hot Stuff's was a little on the chewer. None of these fishes were bad. None were objectionable.
And to be honest with you, given each in the circle, I think the only one I would not order if I was hungry for a hot chicken or a hot fish sandwich, I think the only one I would not order again would be the Hot Stuff. But it's only because I would go with the shrimp. Yeah. I mean, in a Foul Play, I'd never order it again because there's too many things I'd want over that. Yeah, agreed. You
sent me that video of her making that burger, and oh my gosh,
dude, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that's the ranking for the bone-in, the tenders, and the fish.
And the shrimp is easy.
Shrimp, yeah.
And so
yeah. Once
sandwich?
We get,
no, I mean,
no,
yeah,
not yet.
Not yet. That might be the sequel.
Yeah.
I will say, I do want to talk briefly. We've been talking about franchises, and do want to briefly touch on 2 things I tried when I was in Texas.
Okay, now I also have a few things.
Oh.
So I want to talk about this as well, but I want you to go ahead first.
Okay. So when I was in Texas, we were getting it late, and my mom didn't want to cook or anything, and it was if we were driving in, and it's if we stop somewhere, we're going to add time. So, you know what? There's a Whataburger right down the street. This is the time to try the Nashville hot boneless Whata wings or whatever they're called.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were. Thank you.
So I ordered me some, and I asked for a cup of pickles with it, and the lady thought I was crazy. She didn't. And when I was at the window, I was like, "Hey, I actually live in Nashville, and that's actually how we eat hot chicken." And so she didn't have a clue. And I tried them, and it's like popcorn chicken with a sauce that is too sweet to be considered Nashville hot, but is somewhat reminiscent. Not bad. Not great. Like, would I get it? No, I mean, I wouldn't crave it or anything like that. I was curious to try it. It's at Whataburger. I would probably prefer it on a sandwich than just eating it as tenders, or sorry, chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Or popcorn, whatever, boneless wings. Give me a break.
Can I jump in though for a point of reference?
Yeah.
So I also got these, and I think
you did try them.
I did, and I think we talked about these during the Gus's episode very briefly that I got them.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Or maybe I texted you, I forget. But the reason I say this is I am one of those few people who I want to try stuff so other people can have a frame of reference.
Sure.
Right?
Well, that's why we're doing this.
And that's the whole point. But it's also like trying it. One of my favorite quotes is from the song "Do You Believe in Magic," where they say it's like trying to tell a stranger about, or trying to tell a foreigner about rock and roll.
It's a good song.
Right? It's a great song. But the whole reason that I say that is, could you imagine trying to explain to somebody what Nashville hot chicken is that has never had it? It's difficult.
I do all the time, driving Lyft or Uber.
So here's what I'm saying. You understand. How do you explain it to them?
I tell them that it's deep fried chicken that's been tossed in a sauce that has been made from oil from the fryer and spices and sugar.
So here's what I'm going to...
And that it's not vinegary like buffalo. It's peppery and slightly sweet. That's how I describe it.
And that's a great description. So here's what I've been...
And I also tell them real hot chicken is bone in.
Fair. This is what I've been telling people. What I do is I suggest, imagine the consistency of a salad dressing, like in oil and vinegar, right? Like in olive oil, right? An olive oil dressing, right? That with a bunch of dry spices in it, heat it up, and then you literally dunk your bone-in pan-fried piece of, cast iron is better, but you dip your bone-in fried piece of chicken into that. It's hard to imagine.
It's hard, and different places are different. Correct. Some almost come out pasty.
They do.
400 degrees, if you've ever been there, it's almost like pasty. And
we're going to see that in a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. And Prince's is very saturated.
Agreed.
And then places today, sometimes you question, was this dredged?
Was it even dredged?
It is. But sometimes it's very light in color. I remember Big Shakes, may they rest in peace. We might be able to go to the Columbia one if it's still around.
I mean, I'm in, but that's go ahead.
The chicken was interesting there because it looked like they hadn't done a thing to it, but oh boy, did it kick. And was it hot, and it had flavor. So
in that same kind of vein, whenever I'm explaining this to people, I love when people like 7-Eleven pull out a hot chicken option, or when Whataburger, an established name in large, quick service restaurant, will pull out something along those lines, because I can sit back and I can say, okay, to all my friends in Texas and Florida and Louisiana and Alabama and all these places who have never had Nashville hot chicken, if you get this, imagine instead of chicken nuggets, a bone-in piece of chicken, right? With this sauce, except this sauce is going to be a little bit less barbecue sauce consistency, more towards a salad dressing, an oil-based salad dressing consistency with much more dry spice.
I don't even like really calling it a sauce. Nashville.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. So what did you think of the Whataburger? It
was reminiscent. It's like the telephone game.
Yeah.
It's like three people down from the telephone game. It was.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Let's say you move, I don't know, to Timbuktu, and they open up a Whataburger. You have no Nashville hot chicken. Is it going to scratch the itch?
It would.
I don't think it would scratch the itch for me.
I'm going to be honest. I think it would get me close, but there's no way that it would scratch the itch.
It wouldn't scratch the itch for me.
It was tasty.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't tasty. It doesn't scratch the itch.
It doesn't scratch the itch.
I'll tell you what might though.
Go on.
Tried another place.
Tell me.
Dave's Hot Chicken.
Did you really?
You know this. I tried Dave's.
Hold on. No. I forgot that you told me that you were there, and this is a place I still have yet to try.
Right. So I can give a very quick analysis of it.
Please.
You ever been to Cane's?
Raising Cane's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nashville Hot Raisin Cane's.
What?
So let me explain what I mean. I'm not saying the chicken is the same because it's not, but I'm saying like it's that same, like they have same options. So they basically are just making chicken tenders.
Okay.
They don't even have a chicken sandwich. They have sliders where they put a tender on a slider and it's sticking out on the edges. Like,
all right.
And they have a slaw on it. And we tried the sliders. We tried the tenders. We got everything hot. And tried the fries and the sauce, and again, you know how like cane sauce. I mean, it's
yeah.
You just get a bunch of it and just use it up, and like the fries and all. That's what it was. Now the texture of it, it's weird. You know, it's like a very smooth looking fried chicken.
Yeah,
like not the
almost like tempura ish.
You know how like the gizzards, for instance, or what had all that crackly bits.
Yeah.
None of that on the Dave's chicken.
Weird.
None of it. And so it's also has a
Would it be like a beer batter dip?
No, it's not beer batter. It's not like that's puffier. It's not very thickly fried. It's not a thick batter. It's also not a super crispy. The texture of the chicken is almost how it separates like fish, if that makes sense.
Weird. So it's hyper marinated.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But not tough. And it's very red. Like they must use food coloring. I'm pretty sure
that red.
I'm pretty sure they do. I don't know, because it doesn't matter the level you order. It's always going to come that color. So I'm pretty sure. Also, another interesting fact: it's halal.
What?
Yeah. So a lot of the people there, like I asked Sydney, I was like, "Hey, look around. Do you notice a trend here?" And it was just a lot of like Middle Eastern people. And I was like, I bet this place is halal. And I looked up and yeah, it is.
That's brilliant.
So also, I think, but the bun they used was a Martin's potato roll. So that made it awesome.
Yeah.
The sauce is really good, but it's like a comeback kind of, it's, or not a comeback.
It's a Nashville Raising Cane's.
Yeah, basically. It's kind of like cane sauce. Now I do have an interesting story. The heat level was okay.
Okay.
Right. So we're ordering the food and Sydney asked me, "Are you getting the hottest level?" And I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not with Alex. I'm not on the clock." Like,
I'm smiling. I love you. I love you so much.
And the guy at the counter, this kid was like, he I know, and I think I said, "Oh yeah, I live in Nashville. I usually get the hottest level ever." And I know he said something like, "Oh, you should have tried it." And I was like, "Hey man, you want to get me a free tender of the hottest level? I'll eat it." He goes, "Really?" Because he had never seen anyone do it. And I was like, "Yeah." So we sit out and we eat, and we just assumed he was just like,
yeah.
Eventually, we finished eating. We're walking out the door. He comes running out with a tender on a platter. You better believe, and we can post this video because Sydney got a video. Okay. We better believe we got the restaurant became an audience of, is that the hottest? Oh my God. Because everyone is struggling. Like, because these are, this is not Nashville. This is Dallas, Fort Worth.
Correct.
And so with whatever level, is that the hottest level? So he just gives it to me and just watches. And I just shrug my shoulders and I eat it.
Did you hiccup?
No.
What?
I didn't even hiccup. And I even said that. So everyone was watching me. So I did kind of try to eat it quick, and it was very physically hot.
Yeah.
But like I didn't even hiccup. And I will say, the next day I did experience some stomach burn.
Did it hurt? Yeah.
Because it's called the Reaper. I think their hottest level is the Reaper. Okay. So there's Reaper in it and stuff. But honestly, I did it. I did not even drinking any water. We can post the video of it, and they were shocked. You would be very proud of me.
I am very proud of you. I am very proud of.
And the tenders are big too.
Yeah, I know they're massive. I'm proud of you for going, out and trying different, places that are not the dish.
Yeah,
And
they don't actually say Nashville anywhere at Dave's. That is something I don't like.
Okay.
It's clearly what it is. Nashville flavored chicken stuff.
But it's not advertised as
because
such.
it comes from LA and they don't mention the Nashville anyway. So this place will probably not come to Nashville. I'll just say that because it just doesn't have a
too much competition.
It just doesn't have a reason. There's nothing in it. The only thing I can think of that makes it special is the fact that they use Martin's potato rolls. Because I love those, and that makes any chicken sandwich better. But
let's do this. I'm glad you went. Although I'm not glad that we have to eat this side chick. So.
The side chick looks mean. It looks really mean. Are we gonna pause and get some?
We're gonna
get some refreshments.
We're gonna pause. I normally say that this is gonna be the ad break. I'm actually one thing that I'm kind of excited about is about 2 months ago I got to talking to a local business who we're actually in the talks to potentially have them as just a quick little sponsor, not to where we're going to make any money, but I feel like they align with the theme of this podcast. And I love that. I want to support local brands that do kind of fall in our vein. So if you happen to know one, reach out to us on the social medias, hotchickspodcast@gmail.com.
We'll show you our chicken.
Yeah, we're not going to show you any chickens that we have. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to pause. We're going to prep this side chick. We're going to come back. It looks mean. And we'll see y'all back here shortly. So stick around and enjoy the commercial break. Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, friends, and folks. And I'm going to tell you right now,
Alex.
Yeah.
We've had dinner.
We have.
Now it's time for dessert.
No, this is far from dessert. This is what we deserve. Oh, there it is. Yeah, dessert spelled backwards is stressed, and that's how I'm feeling right now. So I'm feeling quite stressed. We do it's a gentleman's offer every time we get the mean looking side chicks together, and we'll always be like, which side do you want? Because we cut it down the middle. Normally it's very even. If it cannot be even, we try to like even it out if there's a mean looking side and then like a breadier side or what have you. And I looked at Greg today. He's like, which side do you want? I'm like, oh, you pick. And he took the bigger of the two sides. I said, man, that one's massive. Why? And he goes, that one's meaner. So I have the meaner of the two here. So be prepared for that.
I will offer you the last pickle if you want that.
No, I've got one on each. I'm okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, take that.
And we also have mugs.
And what is in those mugs, Gregory?
Well, first of all, they're mugs of my coffee shop mug collection. But they're housing a very, very
saving grace,
a very worthy beverage, which is Fairlife milk, which is going to really help us get through this today.
Again, we are not sponsored by Fairlife. We are just incredibly passionate.
But please sponsor us, Fairlife.
Yeah, please sponsor us, Fairlife. We're good people that just have masochistic tendencies.
Also, do you want to tell them the name of the We're still working on this, but I think we have one.
So we just were talking about the rubber chicken that Gregory has so graciously bought for me to keep with all of our gear to record. And we think that his name is Blue Hole Joe because he is a blue chicken with a blues guitar. And I just can't think of anything better than Blue Hole Joe at this point in time. So
where does the hole come from, Alex?
It's how he's screaming at us because we're idiots. We are not smart because we're about to eat, so he's yelling at us.
Let me just say that if this is bad, I give you permission to completely communicate just with that.
I will do Morse code, and it's just going to be SOS. Don't think I won't.
Also, on the break, we realized Alex has some massive earlobes. and I would unfortunately, they're covered up by the headphones. Otherwise, I'd really like to see how they're affected by this.
So very glad that we have gotten out of middle school there, Gregory. I appreciate it. All right. So we're going to...
That's how... Let's just say, what if we rated each one of these by how red those lobes got?
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
What's today's lobe rating?
We have officially hit slap happy and sleepy haha level here. Let's jump in though. We've got the meanest looking side chick that I've seen in quite a while.
Atomic?
This is Nuclear.
Nuclear. Oppenheimer.
Yeah, we are. This is Project Manhattan level.
Okay, I'm noticing the bottom looks okay.
Yeah, the bottom doesn't look nearly as bad as the top does, but this top is menacing.
And as Russell said, this is going to hurt.
Yeah, he openly warned us. So
it's going to be hot.
Hey, Russell, thank you. And hey, Greg, cheers.
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 Mm-mm.
It's in my eyes already. Eat the second one. You won't do it. Can I get one of those napkins, please? Thank you.
My throat burns.
No, it's bad. I'm crying. Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Today was supposed to be an easy day.
This sucks. Uh-huh.
Number 3.
Wow, that sucked.
You said you can make it hotter. I don't want it hotter. I agree. Oh my gosh.
Number 3. Stupid. We're stupid.
That was like
Horrible.
that was like a shotgun blast to the face.
I'm not happy.
Did you hear my immediate reaction?
Yeah.
It was no.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too. Oh.
This was not a slow burn. This was hard to finish. This is the first time it's been hard to finish. We usually get a lot of afterburn, you know? This was hard to eat.
I gotta be honest with you. So, that one hurt the back of my throat.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Me too.
That was stupid. I'm good. I'm gonna stick to water. I can't keep chugging Fairlife. Thank you, Sydney. Sydney, ladies and gentlemen,
She's waiting on us. She's right now.
She's amazing.
She's acting like a nurse.
Quite literally.
Okay, open up the headphones. Let me see them.
Are they red? I hate you. I'm gonna give this one 4 earlobes. Okay. Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you. Sydney, ladies and gentlemen, she's amazing. Hey, Greg.
This was supposed to be an off day.
This is supposed to be an easy day, man.
Hella hot.
Helen's.
I mean, the hottest level's hella.
Yeah, this is nuclear.
I'm trying to say them. We thought our side chick was just going to be hella hot.
Oh, yeah, I totally anticipated hella.
Is it coming down for you?
Not by much. Actually, I stand corrected. I couldn't breathe for a second there.
Man, you know, sometimes these things are hard to quantify. I know we're trying to rank them, but that was mean.
So, okay, work with me on this, because...
Man, that sucked.
So, the number one worst one I've ever...
Russell.
Yeah, Russell, dude, you did us no favors, but I gotta tell you, like, this, we have signed waivers, brother, right? We have signed waivers. This...
You just watched me eat a raper tender at Dave's.
Yeah, actually, that's a great point. And to everybody else who doesn't know, Gregory went to Dave's Hot Chicken and, you know, was talking about the podcast and said to one of the people there, if you give me a chicken tender, you know, he had never seen, the people had never seen somebody eat the Reaper tender. So he said, you get me the tender and I'll eat it. And he did. And honestly, what did he put it at? He ranked it on a scale of 1 to 10 compared to the worst that he's ever had. He was like, yeah, this is a 5, right? So, and they might not have been too happy about that. But I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be doing all this with Blue Hole Joe.
Thank you, Blue Hole Joe. Yeah.
Okay. So the whole reason I say this is, I've seen you eat some really, 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 supposedly hot stuff. This, I said number 3. Hear me out. Number 1, the hottest thing that we've eaten, bar none, was foul play. That one kept me from sitting straight. That one hurt. My face started swelling. In
you almost lost your salvation.
I don't. It was bad. But
it's not theologically correct. But
I'll say this much: if we're
your body and soul was in danger.
Yes, very much so. Second, and honestly, I'm gonna say second would be Lily's for me.
I don't know, man.
Well, and this is where I'm getting caught up between, because this and Lily's were close, but
Listen, we've never had something that was hard to finish.
That's true.
That was hard to finish. Like, we took one bite.
We both knew.
And I don't know about you, but did you almost stop?
I knew if I stopped, I would not be able to finish, and I had to be able to finish. So I'm going to be honest with you. The last time I did something like that was foul play. Foul play was the worst.
But it went down.
But I think...
I think we both had moments where like, well, after that bite,
yeah,
it was like, I don't know.
I'm gonna put foul play as number 1, and I'm gonna put this as a very close 2.
I think it does maybe beat. I think it maybe beats
Lily's.
Maybe.
I think it would.
Listen, he said this can get hotter.
But he said that you have to sign a waiver for that one. Listen, me, knowing what I know, I can feel the heat from this tender sitting just past my esophagus right now.
Yeah.
Like, I can feel it right now.
Will you be able to sleep?
Hell, I'm not going to be able to finish that answer, but no.
Are you going to curl up with Blue Hole Joe?
I'm going to curl up with Blue Hole Joe, and I have a bathroom pillow that I keep, it's the one that I lay on the floor at times if things get really tough, and lay on the floor with my little blanket and Blue Hole Joe, and I'm going to, tonight's a bathroom sleeping night.
Man, all I know is you jumped up and you started spinning in circles.
Yeah.
And I laughed, and that was a terrible mistake. My throat was hurting.
Yeah.
My throat felt like it was slightly closing. Almost started to feel a little bit nauseous.
Yeah, mine was the lightheadedness. Did you get lightheaded at some point in time? Like, I full on was nauseated when we ate foul play. This one was the closest we've gotten yet. This was rough. Is it just now coming down for you?
Yes.
Wow.
You think you got the better one?
No, to be honest with you, I kept chugging. I will Venmo you $5 for your own Fairlife milk. But like, I chugged. I'll be totally honest with you. The second piece, remember how there was that little additional button that came with it? Like the little additional piece? Mm-hmm. That piece had so many little notches to where when I bit it, I felt the paste of this tear apart.
I'll just tell you this.
Yeah.
That took willpower to eat. That little notch, like, because the first one was, the first part of the tender was a few bites. It's like 2 or 3 bites.
Oh my gosh.
And then we had that notch. And man, you better believe after one bite, it took willpower. We have never been in a situation where we can't just power through. Usually, we eat it. It maybe takes a little bit of pushing. It's hot, but then it's the aftermath. This was like a shotgun blast to the face.
You know what? And I'm gonna be honest with you. The whole day we've been talking about fastball special, straight down the middle. You know, one thing we forget to talk about with fastballs is sometimes they can go over 100 miles an hour, and that just smacked us at 104 miles an hour.
I'm actually shaking a little bit.
Yeah, I was too. Did you notice I put my hand out because
I've got some chills a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel chills.
Yeah, that one. I don't feel the level of nauseated that I felt from foul play.
Why do I feel chills?
I don't know. That's rough, man.
What did Russell do to us?
I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you.
He just shrugged and said, it's going to be hot.
Yeah. And God, he said it with a smile too. That's the thing that just like, oh, good gosh.
Are we ever going to get all these in a lineup and try them?
No, I'll die. No, I will not do that. Not
What's
even
funny,
an option.
I was thinking about this was like a last minute suggestion before we recorded the first episode.
Yes.
What if we did this? And you're not even really a spicy guy.
I'm not.
And I had the realization as we were suffering. I was like, I'm doing this to Alex. I have dragged him through.
You're a sadist. You are a sadist, but I love you.
Do you remember that time at Subculture?
Oh, gosh.
It was on my birthday, and you were just shoveling salad.
I was trying,
into your
man.
mouth. Oh, man.
You're welcome. What was that? What was the heat? Was it extra hot?
I don't think so. I think it was just hot.
No, I had it. Oh, no, wait. I can't do extra hot down there. That's right. It's too hot. I have to go hot. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, Greg. Yeah. And you're over here, you're looking at me like, you know, this man's shoveling back the hottest of the hot, hanging with me, and I'm over here dying a little bit inside, making promises to like my ancestors. If I make it through this, I'll change.
In 20 days, Sydney is talk about dying a little inside. In 20 days, Sydney is marrying less of a man after this.
Oh, Sydney, I'm so sorry that now you have 11/12 of a husband to marry.
Yeah.
Because Russell took away a little part of his existence.
Man, I have chills.
Okay, so hey, Greg, while you're feeling this way,
I'm putting it at 2.
Yeah, I'm putting it at 2. Has to be. Number 1 is foul play. Chef Grace,
and
please.
all 3 of those are apart from the rest.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a massive gap here. But number 1, foul play. Number 2, Helen's at Vandy. Good gosh. Number 3 is Lily's. I'm gonna say pretty close, but there's some space between number 2 and number 3.
Yes.
And then there's a massive drop. I'm talking massive drop between Lily's and Prince's. And then we have Bolton's, BJ Hot Chicken in Hendersonville, Hot Chicken in Nero. Coming in at number 8 is Hot Stuff. We are not ranking the gussified chicken because that's not going to be right. It's a Frankenstein. Hey, next episode, we're going to talk about... Oh, gosh. Next episode, we're going to talk about the Aldi Nashville hot spice mix, as well as a couple others that you can find at major chains such as Walmart, and how we believe the preparation of them with chicken actually can get you pretty close to a Nashville hot that is not too far off from what you would expect here. In Nashville, if you are away and maybe you only have a Walmart close to you, maybe you're interested in trying to do that. That's an episode that I'd very much like to do to kind of give a frame of reference. So, Gregory, let's
just wing it.
Let's close out. I think he's done. He's total. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Greg. Just not into the mic. All right. So here we go. Let me go.
How are you doing?
How am I doing? Pain. It still hurts.
I have chills.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Mine's like in the center of my back, and I want to curl up on the floor a little bit.
I just want to lay down.
Yeah. I also just want to lay down. So, hey, Russell, thank you. That was horrible. As one of my very dear friends said, thanks, I hate it. And I don't hate it. It was that good, but gosh, that one hurt. Don't be a hero to anybody out there. Please go watch out for yourself. But nonetheless, Greg, anything else?
No. Let's get out here.
Yeah, let's get out of here. So, friends, folks, and fellow poultry fanatics, be safe. Keep it spicy. And as always... Yep. Okay, never mind. There it is. Okay, just wing it.
The 7 deadly sins of loving you. Wrath, greed, sloth, and pride. Don't take me for a ride. Please, babe, say you feel it too. Envy, lust, gluttony. Oh, pretty babe, we're far from free. The 7 deadly sins of loving you.